Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? Man, oh man, shit is getting real. I mean, this arbitration, the Deontay Wilder arbitration, has completely turned the boxing world upside down. Old media is completely panicking. I mean, you got Chris Mannix, who had just recently said no one even thought that Wilder had a chance of winning this case, which exposes the lack of intelligence that he has, because new media knew, but I digress. So like I said, everyone is panicking, old media, but what's even more surprising is even Tyson Fury's own team, even they're panicking going into this fight. You know, all of the stuff that you guys will usually hear these race fans say to discredit Deontay Wilder. He's a bum. He has no chance. Tyson Fury's going to beat him easy. It's not even worth Tyson Fury taking the third fight because he beat him so easy in the last fight. All those things that you guys are saying, even the guy that you guys are defending doesn't even agree with you. I've already told you that Tyson Fury has said on numerous occasions, despite him beating Deontay Wilder, he feels that Deontay Wilder is the most dangerous opponent, the most dangerous heavyweight in the division when it comes to possible future opponents for Tyson Fury. Now we have Tyson Fury's own father admitting that it was a mistake to take this fight, basically saying it was a mistake to take this fight because it's such a dangerous fight. Tyson's own father even implied that there's a good chance they could possibly lose this fight. I mean, Tyson's father is really, really shook. He's really nervous when it comes to a third fight with Deontay Wilder. Now, I'm going to play an audio clip of the actual interview, but just keep in mind, notice, once again, Tyson Fury, he is not using any of the decaf talking points that we see in the comment section. All of these people completely trashing and discrediting Deontay Wilder. In fact, it is the contrary. They are looking at this as a very, very dangerous fight. So for you race fans to get upset and start saying, oh, you black bastards, how could you say this is a dangerous fight, or we don't know what's going to happen in the third fight, yada, yada. For you guys to say that, now you need to say those same things to Tyson Fury's dad. That's the man you guys should really be debating with, because he's disagreeing with everything you guys are saying and actually corroborating the majority of what I've been saying over here. With that being said, let's go ahead and play this clip so you can hear it from the horse's mouth. Check this out, guys. This is Tyson Fury's dad talking about this third fight with Deontay Wilder.
It's diabolical, isn't it? You know, you're geared up to fight one man, and all of a sudden, on the 11th hour, it's all sorted in 24 hours. He's signing contracts in the hall of a boxing venue. You know, they're around him like locust. You know, and I think to myself, you know, how can you think straight with all that around you? It's, for my one, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We can blame his team, can't he? No one else. Anything rushed is no good, and that's been rushed. He was fighting AJ. I wanted to fight AJ. I have no interest in Deontay Wilder. So why has he got to fight Wilder? I told him on a phone conversation, chuck the belt in the bin, let him have it, come back and fight AJ on the 14th of August like was planned. But who am I? I'm nobody, unfortunately. A voice that only a certain amount of people hear. And because you don't drive a Rolls Royce, live in a castle, it falls on deaf ears, doesn't it? You can be idiot, you can be a idiot and an imbecile and come out of a big setup and they listen to you, don't they?
Yeah. I mean,
that's unfortunately the case.
And then you've got the detractors, like AJ's camp, claiming that they never wanted, Tyson never wanted it in the first place.
Rubbish. I'm just concerned whether Tyson can raise his game for Wilder. Whether he gets complacent, makes a mistake, you know, but I don't know. It's got every chance of going wrong out there, because I don't like how it's been handled. It's been badly handled, you know, and that's just my opinion, no one else's. Tyson knows what he's doing, but I said, get back on a plane. Let's have a look at the situation properly. Let's assess it. But, you know, there's no bright lights and glitz here, is there?
Okay, so you guys heard what Tyson Fury's father said right there. He said it's a mistake for Tyson Fury to take this fight. He's concerned about the fact that, you know, they've been negotiating all this time for months and months and months to take the Anthony Joshua fight. And then all of a sudden in 24 hours, a fight is signed for him to fight against Deontay Wilder in a trilogy. You hear Tyson's father say, I told him, just give up the belt, man. Just give up the belt and move on. Man, Deontay Wilder really has Tyson Fury, or Team Tyson Fury, shook right now. Completely. Because we already know, if Tyson Fury had the confidence, and his team had the confidence, that this was a very easy walk in the park, they would have gladly took another 20 to 30 to 40 million dollars to fight Deontay Wilder 8 months ago, and then use that as a segue to go right into the big Anthony Joshua fight that they really want. But Tyson Fury, he chose not to do that because, by his own admission, from his own words out of his mouth, he believes that Deontay Wilder is too dangerous of a fighter. And clearly, his father feels the same way. With that being said, I want to go into the next clip. Now, in this next clip, Tyson Fury's dad, he suggests that there's a very good chance his son could possibly lose this fight. Because he's saying maybe Tyson Fury won't be able to get motivated to fight Deontay Wilder a third time. But if that were the case, that sounds like a personal problem to me. But it doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense that Tyson would not get motivated. This is the most important fight of his career, for the simple fact that Tyson Fury cheated in the last 2 fights that he fought Deontay Wilder in. Now you have to fight this guy without those magic gloves. It's like that little Bow Wow movie. Remember when he had the shoes? All of a sudden, when he put them shoes on, he could play basketball. He was the Michael Jordan of basketball when he had those shoes on. And then all of a sudden, he had to play without those shoes. And he had to use his natural talent. This is the exact situation that Tyson Fury is in. He's going into this third fight without those shoes, without those magic gloves. So you would think, as I keep saying, you would think, knowing that if Tyson Fury loses this third fight, everyone is going to know he only won the second fight because he cheated. That alone should motivate him to train harder than he has ever trained before. But it didn't motivate him. Because if it did, Tyson Fury would already be in tip-top shape right now. In fact, Tyson Fury should have been in the best shape of his life before the Wilder fight was even signed. Because he was trying to strike a deal with Anthony Joshua for the last 8 months, almost a year. And now he's barely starting to get in shape now. With that being said, let me go ahead and play this final clip of what Tyson's father said about Tyson possibly losing to Deontay Wilder and why. Check it out.
Danger point is getting fair play out there. At the minute, the American boxing fraternity has been embarrassed from last escapade. Why wouldn't you take a $20 million step aside without fighting and a guaranteed shot at the winner when you're fighting for a lot less money than $20 million and you're risking getting your skull caved in again? It don't make sense on his part. So obviously, the powers that be in America are involved, aren't they?
Now, hold on, guys. Before he continues, let me respond to that. You heard what he just said. He just said, why wouldn't Deontay Wilder just take the $20 million, the step-aside money? Why wouldn't he do it when he is guaranteed to get the winner of the next fight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And then he tried to make it sound like America was behind this. The boxing world in America was behind this. And they're basically looking out for Deontay Wilder's best interests. Clearly, this man is oblivious to what's going on in America, and he doesn't know the fans, at least the non-black fans in this country, they support Tyson Fury more than the UK fans do. And these fans are not supporting Tyson Fury because they love him so much. They're praising him because he beat an undefeated heavyweight black champion. So John Fury, he says it makes absolutely no sense for Deontay Wilder to turn down the step-aside money and push for the fight right away. But actually, it makes all the sense in the world because there's too many things that could go wrong. For instance, Anthony Joshua could end up beating Tyson Fury. And Deontay Wilder, he wants his revenge. He wants payback when it comes to Tyson Fury. And he also wants to be the first man to beat Tyson Fury. It's not going to be as satisfying if AJ goes in there and knocks out Tyson, and then he has to get revenge against a once beaten Tyson Fury. It won't be the same. So that's one reason why Deontay Wilder wouldn't go for the okie doke and just take some step aside money. The other reason is there's a very good chance that Tyson Fury would retire if he were lucky enough to beat AJ. He might just go ahead and retire and say, forget that. Why take a chance of losing to Deontay Wilder in the third fight when I got a W on my record against Deontay Wilder and AJ? All right, with that being said, let's get back to what John Fury said. Check it out.
They could.
Both men could get beat. AJ could get beat, so could Tyson. Because both men could get complacent, thinking about one another, and all of a sudden you're doing something else. They're geared up to fight one another, the biggest fight in history. And all of a sudden, what have we got? 2 warm-up fights in between. You know, I've said a lot, I've said this, I've said that, but it's all business, it's all building a fight. But now this is serious. You know, I'd say keep your WBC belt, I'm out of here. I'm fighting AJ with the belt or without it. I'm sure people still want it, but everybody seems to be doing as Bob Arum says, you know. Not cricket, is it? Me, no harm to Bob. He's probably got his intentions right, but it's all about money and what they can do. All this is benefiting the Americans, you know, because they never wanted the Saudi fight, did they? Never wanted it. Tyson wanted it. I wanted it. Everybody in the world wanted it. You know what we got? Deontay Wilder. So, beat him to pieces last time we weren't in a fight. But you can get complacent. Probably see a different Deontay Wilder this time. Probably a lot different.
Probably a different Deontay Wilder this time. Probably a lot different is what John Fury just said. I mean, what about saying, don't worry, you're going to see a different Tyson Fury. You're going to see an even better Tyson Fury. You see, he's not saying that. He's only worried about seeing a better Deontay Wilder. And as he said, you know, it was really funny because in this interview, and I'll put the link to the full interview so you guys can watch it, but in the interview was a UK reporter, and he kept trying to use those same Tyson Fury fan talking points. He was like, well, you could tell the reporter was completely surprised that John Fury was saying this. He was admitting these things because he kept trying to coach John to say, you know, some of the stuff that the fans would usually say. Well, he beat him so easy in the second fight, and it could be argued that Tyson won the first fight. As he was saying this, John Fury cut him off and told him Tyson Fury could possibly lose this fight. He can get complacent. We don't know what type of Deontay Wilder to expect because this is pretty much what he was saying. And then he said maybe Tyson Fury can't get as motivated because he's so focused on the AJ. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, if you're pulling for Tyson Fury, you should really be worried right now. You should really be worried. And the more we hear stuff like this, the more confident Deontay Wilder becomes. I've been telling you guys for months, if we get to see this third fight, it will not look like the second fight. It won't look like the second fight. It will be a complete different fight. Maybe Deontay Wilder will be a little bit better, and because Tyson Fury cannot cheat, he will not be as dangerous. Let's just put it that way. I still don't know who's going to win the fight because Tyson Fury is still a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. But Deontay Wilder has the most dangerous equalizer in the whole sport of boxing. So we'll see how it plays out. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man ScalpCarolinas on Instagram.